because there was a point where your boy Katt and he came for the Ricky Smiley.
Mm-hmm. Oh right, he came for all of them. Right?
We came for a lot of them. Yeah, no, he came for a lot of.
You an advocate. You a Ricky Smiley advocate.
I like Ricky. I like Ricky. I listen to the Ricky Smiley show in the morning. Like
all of us do. Yeah,
he cool. Right. Like he cool, but he said that in his contract.
Ricky
Smiley had to wear a dress
in his next movie.
What that nigga had on him first Sunday
in his next movie. Yeah. Ricky Smiley debunked that
and said that it wasn't. In
his
he
said it wasn't in his contract. He just said that it didn't happen.
No,
he didn't debunk it.
That nigga had a dress on.
Because debunk
he did though, right?
Well, no, he debunked it and said it wasn't in his contract.
So Johnny, so do you know the difference between like jokes and like, to me, I feel like he was playing on the idea.
Why are you playing him like that?
I don't think that it was literally like him saying, I wrote in my contract.
Yeah.
Pointing out the fact that the next movie that we did.
I think he wrote that shit, bro. I think he really had it in his contract.
I didn't think he was joking about that. He didn't seem like he was joking about that.
I think. So you also got to look at the idea of like comedian, like Charleston White.
Yes,
you got to look at like the exaggeration comes with that's the gadoosh.
That's why I'm laughing
bro. That's how when he come out with the receipt with that contract. Like, because it's coming, the receipt been coming all week.
Right, he had the receipt.
But I think
that's facts.
But time out.
That make it worse.
Time out. Like we said, legs. That ain't even where I'm going with it. That ain't.
Go ahead.
My question is, what is black society, black people? What is our obsession with the black man
in a dress.
wearing a dress?
I agree. I'm not a fan.
And like, where does it come from? And why is that such a sin against the black man? Where if you look in comedy, there's been plenty of white comedians that have put on that dress. Nobody says, "Oh, they're trying to demasculate the white community." If you look even at like traditional African garb,
holy shit,
the dress is a thing that
Johnny making an argument for niggas to wear dresses right now.
I'm not making.
Come on.
I'm not making.
What are you doing?
I'm not saying argument. But I'm saying, but like, why is that?
All right, my bad. All right, so let's think.
Why is it so?
Johnny,
let him finish his.
Yeah, like I'm saying,
I'm gonna step in
and that's my thing. Why is it such?
I'm gonna step in a second.
Like, why is it so like emasculating to a black man for him to wear a dress?
That shit, Jay.
And Johnny, you a wild. What is a wild stance?
I'm just asking. I'm just asking because like Tyler Perry did it.
So if
you take this one.
Let me ask you: if you put on one right now,
I'm not saying I want to put on the dress.
I'm just saying, what would it do for you?
But it'll take us out of here. If we had a nigga wearing a dress,
if you put one right now, what would it do for you? I don't even think that. Okay, hold on. I don't even think the dress is it.
I'll buy it.
I think it's
Johnny. We go viral them next week. Next week we need you in a dress. That shit ain't gonna emasculate you, right?
I wouldn't do it.
Oh, so why not?
I wouldn't do it because it's not something I would be comfortable with. Personally,
but
like personally, it's not something.
I think it's them putting on a dress and playing.
Clearly, there's a lot of black men that are comfortable with it, and there's been a lot of white guys that have been comfortable with it. Nobody,
honestly,
name some of the white guys.
I just said the DM.
Robert Williams, Adam Sandler. Jim Carrey, like it's a bunch of white guys that have put on dresses.
I like Adam Sandler.
For comedic reasons.
He played a woman. When did he play?
When did Adam Sandler play a woman?
He's put on a dress.
I'll have to go and get the exact.
I think my thing is
I have to go get the exact.
George Carlin never put on a dress. I'm gonna tell you that.
And putting on a
like
dress.
They're greats and comedians.
Jim Carrey has, and
Jim Carrey was a comedic
and Dave
actor.
Chappelle was just talking about how great
Jim Carrey wasn't a comedian. He was an actor.
As a talent.
No, he wasn't a comedian. He's a comedic actor. But
Jim Carrey was an actor. He wasn't.
Dave Chappelle's put on a dress a couple of times.
No, he hasn't.
Yes, he has.
When?
He's put on a dress in Robin Hood Men in Tights, and he put on a dress on Howard Stern. Look up Dave Chappelle on Howard Stern.
But I mean, I think that's still close to the point.
But you know, the thing is,
I'm saying, but like, even outside of that, like, what about a motherfucker like Young Thug? He didn't put on a dress.
You know who
he got crucified.
He said it was to tuck that yacht.
But I'm saying 9 out of 10 niggas wouldn't try Young Thug on his toughness.
Westbrook done put on a dress. LeBron James
okay, hold on. Because we not talking about a dress.
He didn't put on. I mean,
flag on the play. We're not talking about a dress. I think the thing is, in addition to these men putting on dresses, they're playing a woman. And they're playing this ultra feminine character, and they feel like they have to do this because we find it funny. Why do we find it funny?
That's what I wanted to get to.
Yes. Why do we find that funny?
A lot of times they don't play ultra feminine characters like Eddie Murphy.
One time,
What about Eddie Murphy in the club?
I'm fucking with Tyler Perry.
No, Tyler Perry.
Don't
the
neither.
thing is that Tyler Perry is easy to, but you got to think about. Look at Restrooms.
Look what Tyler Perry done.
Restrooms was hilarious.
I don't watch that movie. Like none. To me, I've never found like men dressing as women funny.
Well,
what movie you said?
This nigga like more ignorant shit than most people I know.
I know, but I like it's like a weird line. But
what about the Nutty Professor?
Funny as hell.
That's not funny.
Funny as hell.
Johnny said stop.
I don't watch any of them shit. It's not
okay. The Nutty Professor.
I did watch Nutty. Like I don't go back to it. I'm not interested in it.
Yeah.
Like that's not my version of comedy. Like I like really dry wit comedy.
I might say
or really brash shit, but I'm not interested in like niggas wearing dresses.
I might get too political or too maybe Dr. Umar when I say this. As far as why we find it funny when black men put on dresses or you know what we watching right now or different things like that is to and y'all might not follow where I'm going with this, but like trans men or gay men, right? When they put on these things that we don't respect them because they look like the man that we saw on the TV screen that we laughed at, or at least that's my take on it, right? That in the demasculization, it's not just trying to demasculine the average straight male, but just men altogether because gay men is a part of that pot. Does that make sense? So like, let's shoot them all because we can't just shoot one side.
But I mean, I don't think like even with the, if we gonna take it to that community, the thing that we don't like, I don't have nothing against.
Right, of course not.
But the reason, and when you talk to people, the thing I don't like and the thing that don't get respect from that community is when you lie about it and you down low about it.
Right.
Like that's what don't get the respect. Just
thing,
being the thing doesn't have no, if you like the way it dresses, cool. Like do it your thing. Like ain't nobody here to condemn you for that, but it's the not being true to yourself, which is what people and
so like, that goes into everything else. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying.
Rail said
I was about to be ignorant, but go ahead.
Do your thing, bro.
Or clean it up a little bit because I want to know.
I don't know why. I guess it's because we in Charlotte. You know, remember the North Carolina when they included like that bathroom bill.
Oh yeah. I'm not a fan of that. Why do I have to share a bathroom,
bro?
I'm uncomfortable.
If my daughter go in the bathroom
and you see a male, I'm shooting up the bathroom. There's that's just crazy as hell.
And I'm sorry. I just feel that way. Hey, I'm not sorry.
And I agree with. I mean, I'm against the bathroom bill shit. Like, I mean, I'm not like.
And so we uplift things that would bring on violence or violent situations, like a little girl walking to the bathroom and she didn't notice that this bathroom was a shared bathroom or same sex gender or whatever they called it, bathroom. And not to say that every male that would walk in there would attack that girl, but let's keep it high. You know what I'm saying? The chances of that happening is a lot more high. And so we're so focused on making sure things like that is approved or passed, but it's okay for us to see a white black male in a dress.
What I won't do what I won't say is that like I haven't seen any proof of the matter that like that because the man is whatever he identifies as, that means that he will attack a girl in the bathroom. He's more likely to.
I wasn't saying that specifically.
Okay,
I'm saying that the opportunity of it happening. You know what I'm saying? It presents. It's like putting cheese where putting cheese in a box and dropping a mouse in there. He's going to find the cheese. You know what I'm saying?
That's a little bit too definite.
Okay, too definite. Okay, sure. But if pedophiles are walking or sex offenders are walking the streets with us regularly, right? Right, and the bathrooms are available, and that sex offender walks into a bathroom where both genders are allowed, and he sees that's the cheese to the mouse analogy that I'm trying to create versus, you know what I'm saying? That sometimes that bathroom gives us protection when we're trying to get away from a situation. You know what I'm saying? That we could lock the door behind us and a male won't walk in here.
I agree. Y'all kind of wrapped that part together. So Johnny, I do want to address specifically like what you were saying, because I guess I joked for a second, but now if we get into like the space of actually really answering your question, so you asked why is like black men wearing a dress like an issue, like versus, the idea
why is it funny
versus like a lot of the other shit we see,
but look, we're just speaking about black men. I think I just want to speak about black men. I think that in general, especially if we look at like the plight of whether we say ADOS, Black American, African American, whatever the word you want to use, right? Typically, what it comes down to is like this idea of buck breaking, And that like what you want, buck breaking.
You have to define it.
So in general, it's the idea of like going back to slavery times of humiliating a man.
Oh, right. Okay.
In front
Facts.
of
That's
like
what I
his family and women. Explicitly. Typically inside like a
and I think you're making the point I was trying to make earlier.
And like that's a big piece of it. In general, where whether we look at like let's say the way that the welfare system is set up, where the black man shouldn't be in the house, can't be in the house.
Right.
They literally do checks for it, right?
Right.
And the black man is always put inside an inferior space. And most white men, you could probably be a little bit more proud. Like white boys do all the little gay jokes, and they can get away with it. Black men, we typically have been as a result of whether you want to say like the emasculation of the black man, the emasculation of his place in the black family, the emasculation of black men across like the times of slavery, all the way down to raping them in front of their women.
Right.
That would be why we've always, and even as a black community, we had a really strong response to homosexuality. Anything LGBTQ, like we're naturally really against that. And we're now starting to like gravitate towards like a more centrist space. But generally, what it comes down to, like that natural push away from it comes from like that idea of the like the emasculation of the black men that has happened and been the most consistent thing for the black man. It's either over sexualization or emasculation.
Right.
Those are the only two balances that black men can live in. It's not intellectual. It's not like you can be a good father. It's you live in those two spaces.
Okay. I mean, and like I say, I don't totally agree with like why people are so mad about it. I just have questions of being like why we're so obsessed with this thing when it has been a thing that has happened in just comedy in general. It's not strictly to black people. And like I say, when it comes to black culture, I feel like there's way more damaging things to our societies and way more damaging
absolutely, but we're never going to focus on that.
And movies than like black dudes.
It's not good content. Let me stop.
What's that? What you said?
But that we're never going to focus on the other things that we're really battling against because we can't talk about them and it's not good content. This is good content.
Exactly.
Talking about
and that's what I'm saying. It's
like, or is it triggering?
We got.
I think that sometimes things.
I'm saying we got shows like Power and like that just focus. And what's the one?
On killing and drugs. Snowfall.
I
love Snowfall.
We got shows like Snowfall.
That's
which
my man.
Franklin are way more damaging to the black community and paint us in a way worse position than like Eddie Murphy putting on a dress and Rasputin.
So Hold on. They're not even like comparable things.
They are a little bit. They are. Because I see where you're trying to go again. My fault. Yeah, I see where you're trying to get at. I think what you're trying to speak on is okay. The reason why we could speak about this so freely is because it's not programmed, it's controlled, and we could talk about things that are being controlled, like putting a black man in a dress. But we can't talk about, like Power, things like that.
Well, how come every black show on Stars is about niggas selling drugs?
Right, or how hip hop, how it once upon a time was rapping about black men living a better life and uplifting its community to now fucking bitches doing drugs, etc., etc. Because
Booty hole brown and all of that.
Right. Because that's programming involved. That's influence involved. That's evolution. But we're not talking about that. When we talk about that, we have to talk about what it grew from. But black men in a dress has not grew enough yet for us. Are you following a little bit?
I'm trying to.
Okay, so like the booty hole brown is like the Z to like ABC, whereas a black man in a dress is like more so AB. It'll take some time. It'll take dissertations, research for us to discover why we were so obsessed about it. Or where will take us through.
Effect?
Yes, or the true effect. We haven't even seen that yet. That's what I'm saying.
But I had my hand up a while ago. At the end of the day, yeah. But what I would say is that I think that the biggest question was, why are we so intrigued and like it so much?
Right, that's another one.
That's the question. So I get what you're saying. Honestly, I stand on more on your side of the thing because I think that like if you look at it, I'm pretty sure that Eddie Murphy wrote the damn Norbit.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that Martin wrote
Big
Mama's House.
I don't think that either one of them wrote.
I'm pretty sure that these movies are movies. Anytime, well, I would say that most of the time when you see one actor,
I know he did.
When you see one actor when you see one actor play multiple parts as themselves or in different bodies. Generally,
they wrote it themselves, right?
Generally, they write it or whatever. Let's say
I'm just telling you.
Okay, all right. Let's say you're right. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter with the Harvey Weinstein, honestly.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Well, it matters to the statement you said, but yes.
All right, nigga. So what I'm saying is, what do you think the reason is that we are willing to entertain or put so much of that? You can't name one that didn't work. Norbit worked. Mrs. Doubtfire worked. All on Tyler one side Perry or the other. Medea worked. Tyler Perry. Why do you think it is that we are so okay with that being the thing? Why do you think? See, I think that's the crazy. But that's the same reason.
That's the next question.
That's the same question, like what you were talking about. What you were just talking about. Like, why are we so okay with all of the drugs, the guns, the content? Because we were being programmed, right? So I think the answer to it is all the same. Not to say that I have the answer. I don't have the answer, but I believe that answer will be consistently the same on both sides of the coin.
It's programming.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I think Black people are a people of influence. And that's where my issue comes in with the whole thing, because like we're constantly used to influence different things going on in the world.
Right.
Like, for instance, the transgender movement was brought in on the back of Black people.
Oh, Marshall, my good girl Marshall.
I get it. I think that your point was that why are we so upset about it? To be truthful, I don't even think that in 2022, like I don't think that like nobody was like that was a thing that niggas was really mad about Katt and Williams thing. Yeah. And that was the point that I said when you talk about like the powers and the drugs and all that stuff. I think that there's a little bit more uproar. I don't think inside like the current era that we're in the LGBTQ liberation movement, in the past like 5 years, it's not really been a crazy thing about men in dresses because of right now the pushes to accept trans in general.
Yeah.
And like that was the point that I was making. I don't think I personally didn't hear people really mad about. He said that they wear dresses. We just heard it and laughed and said, "Oh, that's a little."
I'm disgusted with it. They be trying to pick on Black women too much.
Is the acceptance and the, let's say, like as we're socially attempting to, or I guess the LGBT, all there,
make it okay.
They're trying. Well, yes, make it okay. So does that eliminate the men in dresses? Because then that becomes
I think that's illegal for you to do it.
I think it's a bad Band-Aid over us accepting.
That might be fire because like. At the end of the day, how can you put on a dress as a straight man put on a dress when we're trying to push forward or make everybody okay with the idea of the trans? You can't really do that because then it's mocking them.
Well, not because what is it? What is the thing that when the men when men dress up that's not trans?
Drag.
Yeah, you don't have to be trans to do that thing.
No,
I don't think that they'll still give you a hard time about. I think they'll.
I think that literally, like most of them aren't trying to be trans.
Man, all right, so let's let that go. I
it's his own little pageantry thing and shit like that.
I don't know.
There's a difference between the two.
No. I believe it. I don't know enough, and I'm not really.